sequencer. On my mark. 5.
We're on express elevator to hell. Going down.
2. 1. Mark.
Welcome back to the Resupply with me, Guy Next Door.
Me, DK.
And me, Than, now with 100% less glowing forehead.
Bringing you your semi-regular double tap of all things Space Marines and Laserforce. Fully almost forgot the intro just before we went live.
What's the difference?
Whatever.
It's been a month. Holy shit!
It's good to have you back. It's good to have you back, Steve.
It's nice to be back with you fellas. Especially today, because we got some. Oh, you hit gold on this idea, DK.
I'm worried that this is the golden idea that's just going to cause maximum butt hurt.
It's going to be so fantastic.
We'll get there. Good morning, good evening to everyone that's popped in to say hello. This is the most people I think I've seen in chat yet, so
that makes me even more nervous.
Yeah, you guys are clearly waiting with knives and weapons to tear us down for being incompetent idiots.
Yep.
But that's
hey, if you don't like it, get your own stream.
Yeah, I was about to say we're incompetent idiots all the time. Today is going to be no different.
Yeah,
at all.
But now we're incompetent idiots passing judgment on other people.
We're just upping the stakes.
Yeah, you know what's always good is when you rank people. People love that.
Totally.
We'll get there shortly. I'm very excited for this one. I want to touch on...
Mark Zuckerberg just wanted a faster way to rank hot girls in college. He didn't know he was going to end up installing a fascist dictatorship.
Exactly right. Holy shit. Stu with the gift subs. Thank you, my friend. That's really, really nice of you. To anyone
I think somebody just moved up in the draft order. Hold on.
yeah. Let me re-up that list.
Bribes are accepted here on the Resupply.
Could we have some Reggies in chat, please, for Stu and for all of our new subscribers? Thank you very much. At some point, I'm gonna work in a way to have the stream tags, so latest subscribers, blah blah blah, like we have for the other streams. I'm gonna bring it across to this one. I think it's kind of cool, and it's cool when people get to see their own name and lights. Because that's nice.
It's true.
Two quick things I want to talk about before we get into the gloriousness that we have scheduled for today. Actually, there's three. The first thing is, I know that there's a lot of people out there struggling at the moment. I want to give a quick shout out to anyone that's reached out and needed some support during these crazy times. Just know that we're all here to yarn if you need to. Any reprieve that we can give you on the Resupply of any one of our streams, I'm very glad to be able to do that for you guys. So hang around, socialize, join the Discord if you want some sweet community action. Why didn't that work? There we go. We need some sweet community action whilst we're offline. But cheers, appreciate it. I added a thing called Hydrate Bot. So if you boys, I don't know if you guys had the chat up, but if you see Hydrate Bot, feel free to give us a cheers and have a drink. It's important to stay hydrated. Second thing, which I'll do now and probably at the end of the show. Fuck you, Stu. Second thing is shameless promotion. I'm gonna cut off orders for hats at the end of D&D tomorrow. So if you want a hat or a beanie, send me a message. Either on Facebook or Discord. It's like $20 for a beanie plus shipping. God damn it.
God damn it.
I'm gonna.
Hey, you're the one who made the bot.
I'm gonna. That might have backfired.
Totally did.
I think it's 25 for a cap. So if you want some awesome resupply merch, send me a message. I haven't worked out what shipping is gonna be yet, so you might get a delicious surprise when I send you the PayPal link. But yeah, if you want one, let me know.
And as a reminder, our D&D show tomorrow is starting and ending an hour earlier than usual.
That is important. So
we're shifting the time over by 1 hour.
It's the equivalent of playing Thunderdome Thursday on a Wednesday, maybe. Are you regretting some of the recent stream choices? Yes, I am, Al. I need a pee bucket under my desk, or a catheter. Put that in when we stream. The third thing was an update on the Auckland Triple Threat
Motherfucker
tournament.
I just took a drink. That counts.
Goodness. I need like a camelback or like one of those hats, like one of those beer helmets with the straws. Auckland Triple Threat tournament. We finalized the tournament this week. Finalized dates. All the sites have confirmed that we're allowed to go and play there, which is really cool. And giving you too much power. And all the teams have been finalized. We did our salary cap. So everyone was under. And it all happened in the same afternoon. So yeah, I can't wait for that tournament, man. It's gonna be really friggin' fun.
Hey, Steve.
Yeah.
Shouldn't the chat be showing up on the stream, or did you not click that button today?
It should actually. Up to. Oh, I know what it is. It should. It's not.
Okay. I'm just making sure.
Hang on. I'll see if I can add.
It wouldn't be an episode of the Resupply without some level of technical difficulties.
Hang on. Chat box. Add that. Let's drag that over here. That's not what we want at all.
Stop dragging porn over, Steve-O.
Oh, wrong tab.
There we go. Sad face panda can't play. We are very upset that you can't play Doom. Maybe get a different job. Job security is not things that are needed right at this particular moment.
It's totally overrated for sure.
I saw a comment. Golfer said, Get that a bear helmet to block the reflective baldness. Savage.
God,
what a savage. Stallion's here. Hey, bro. He's actually coming up from Wellington to play, so that'll be cool to see.
Hey.
First time in
getting some out-of-towners.
2 decades. Right. Should we get into the goodness?
Shall we get into this complete fuckery that's about to happen? Yeah.
Yep.
I feel like we should get into the complete fuckery. Yes.
All right.
That's definitely a thing.
So, DK, do you want to give us a rundown as to what's about to happen and how we're going to run this?
So, okay. The plan is we're going to draft our all-time greatest SM5 team from players that we can choose from any era across all sites. We're going to do it snake draft format, so the person who picks first won't get to pick again until the 6th pick. So, right, if you get the 3rd pick, you pick twice in a row, and then it goes back and forth like a snake. You're probably familiar with that.
Snake. It's a snake.
So the rules and caveats that we're throwing in for this is we're assuming that we're drafting players at peak value. So when they were at their skill peak or physical peak in some cases, since not all of us are at our physical peak anymore. Not necessarily their value in the most recent tournament they've played or anything like that. So this isn't a rank of contemporary players or anything like that. So not too much butthurt if we're saying that somebody's worse now than they were 5, 10, 20 years ago, something like that.
When they were
100%.
In their 20s.
I'm definitely worse now than I was 5, 10, and 20 years ago.
Yeah. Even though it's peak value, though, probably stuff like longevity and success across the years or success across formats, different fields, probably does make a difference. But each of us may have slightly different criteria for how we're determining what our picks should be. The goal, I think, is to create the best SM5 team that you believe you can make from available players. That's however you define it. If you want to make it so it's the best team regardless of lineup, if it's the best team based on certain positions you assign, that's fine. Just whatever you are defining as the best team. So some draft picks might be based on positional need, depending on how people are doing that. Obviously, the big caveat thrown is that there are obviously limitations to what all of us have seen, since our own experiences are likely to be the most relevant factors in our judgment of relative skill. There are certainly a lot of players from Australia, New Zealand, from kind of the old days, so to speak, who I haven't seen play firsthand, because I didn't play against any Australian players until 2002. I didn't play in an Australian tournament until 2014. So there are certainly players I haven't been exposed to. But that said, I still know people by reputation and people whose opinions I respect, based on how they've played against competition, factor into this also. But the most relevant factor I have is, who have I played against? What do I actually judge their like relative peak skill to be? And lastly, I think this is the case with pretty much all-time drafts, and regardless of what game or sport or anything else you're talking about, is that the evolution of the game and the meta is always an issue in any kind of all-time draft. So like I get into debates with this all the time about the NBA, for instance. Right? If you give me ranking NBA players, the furthest back I'm willing to go is like 1980, because I have no way to compare players from like the 1960s to the 2010s. I don't know how Bill Russell would play against Kevin Durant. I have no idea. The game was so different. Likewise, I don't know how the game might have been different if we were still all playing on Gen 3 equipment. I don't know if players back in 1996 would have been just as good on Gen 8 equipment. No idea. So that's the kind of list of caveats that I'm throwing in there.
One thing I want to make very clear is that these teams are our own opinions, right? It's nothing personal. All of this is supposed to be fun. Please don't get too upset if you thought that we should have picked you and we didn't.
Or feel free to get upset in chat, because then that's engagement, and it's good on the channel. So whatever.
No, we're the stats. Prove your pick. Show me stats. What I would like from you guys is when you pick, on a little bit of theatrical grandness.
There'll be some discussion.
Doesn't have to be anything over the top. But when you pick, what I would like is before you mention the player's name, you say with the X number pick of the draft, playing out of X site or originating from X site, and then you pick. So please, with the oomph. I know that both of you are
or you could just get ready for disappointment when I don't do that, and and you can just deal with it.
We'll see what happens. I really wish we just had some stock Roger Goodell or David Stern clips we could play for this kind of thing.
What the 7th overall pick of the draft? All right. Well, yeah. Am I a little quiet? I saw my name. And saw that I might be quiet, but let me know if the levels are off or whatever. Just put it in chat.
Everything seems fine to me, but what do I know?
Yeah,
I'm on Discord.
I think it's user error. Matt, turn your shit up. Right. Okay. So, 20 minutes and make a pick. Yeah, chill the fuck out, Russ. Worse than ESPN.
Go to RNGesus. Let RNGesus determine who will make the first pick.
Mr. Positivity over here can't just hang out and have a nice time. All right, let's. I'm gonna switch to how we're gonna decide the pick order. Bear with me 2 seconds. Boom! Look at that floaty wheel of goodness. Oh, I've gone backwards. Hang on, that's not good. So the random wheel of doom is how we're gonna do this. And I mean, I guess all there is to say is have at it, spinny wheel. Ooh, spinny wheel hype. Let's go G&D. Fuck!
Wow, okay.
He gets pick 1. We're doing this in reverse order, right? You get pick 3?
I think you get to pick which pick you want.
Dan, nah, fuck that. You get first.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so Than's getting the first pick.
You're supposed to click remove. Did you remove?
I did.
Yeah, it said remove Than.
Oh, just remove one Than.
Well, whatever. We'll spin again if he comes up. We'll spin again. It's fine. We'll just keep eliminating him when he comes up.
Yeah, pretty much.
Here it comes again.
Fuck!
Yeah, that means you get 2 picks in a row, though.
That's true. That's true.
All right.
That's bullshit.
Cool.
You know what it
All
is? Because just before we went live, we spun the wheel, and I got first pick, so I got mulligan. Damn it!
RN Jesus hates you.
All right. Can anyone see the fancy Excel spreadsheet? Okay. Is that readable on?
We'll zoom in a little bit since we only need like a small section from that.
Yeah, I think it's okay. It's pretty. You could barely see it. Oh, fuck. Okay, hang on a sec. Let's go away from. This should be shared and locked, so only you 3 can edit.
No, let's have people start fucking with our picks.
Just stretch the supervisor laser. Hang on. Let's go to this. This is the no frills version of the stream. Is that better? You guys don't really need to see our faces, right?
Yeah, because our faces are definitely not worth seeing.
Okay.
At all.
Oh, I should probably put the chat in somewhere, but who cares? It'll be all right. So, Dan, number 1 overall.
With the first pick in the 2020 all-time Space Marines draft, Than selects. The pressure's getting to him.
No, I think I'm gonna have to go with what the obvious choice that everybody is thinking is gonna happen. Yeah, I'm taking Rusty with my first pick.
That sounds about right.
You know, it for all of that. You know, we like to give Brent ever so much shit for so many things. The reality is that he fucking delivers.
Yeah.
And he's getting into the longevity thing, like he's been delivering for years,
Quite a while.
Even when he was on teams that were admittedly just fucking terrible. He is definitely backpacked. He's definitely backpacked Wellington more than a few times before he moved. So, and then, you know, stepping into Brisbane and basically going, "Fuck you! I am just gonna take shit over. Sorry, I got to take him with the first pick." It's the obvious choice, but
yeah, you're not wrong. If I had the first pick,
Russ,
if I had the first pick, I would have drafted him as well. So
Russ is gone. Rusty is washed. Didn't even win his league.
Facts. This is not current rankings.
All right. That was probably fairly obvious.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, the first pick would have been easy. The second pick is a little bit harder.
Yeah. What do you got, DK?
All right. With the second pick, I am going to select. I'm going to have to go with Mr. Tragedy.
Wow.
I'm taking Trag at number 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, some people may only know old Trag, who's been still pretty damn good on one leg or maybe half a leg for a number of years at this point. But similar to Rusty, he has crushed it pretty consistently across multiple tournaments at multiple sites. One thing that makes a difference to me is just not only are you one of the best players at your home site, but does your game adapt well to other sites? And Tragedy is, I think, certainly, if not the smartest laser tag player I've played against, certainly in the top echelon there, just for coming up with strats that will mess you up real good, since I believe he was one of the primary architects of the dreaded totem pole,
Totem pole.
in Auckland 2006, and just various other kinds of tactics and strategies and things like that. And he's good across positions. I've seen him play heavy incredibly well. I've seen him play ammo and lock down the back line of his team. I've seen him play scout and be a consistent threat throughout the maze and provide a lot of support to his team. So in my book, that counts for a lot. He's been doing it for a long time. I know I'm getting a solid player, so I feel good about that pick.
Yeah, having played Traj at what I feel was probably him at his best in the early 2000s, he was a beast back then. And like you say, he had like crazy stability to any team that he plays on. Plus, like, he's always good to have in a referee room. especially
No, fuck off.
especially back when we didn't have ref suits.
The dark ages.
I really like Al said, still no arguments, Traj has been dominant for 70 plus years.
True facts.
Gold. Absolute gold.
Oh, God damn it, Russ.
Cheers, Russ. Alright, well, with the third pick in the greatest of all time SM5 draft, playing out of Detroit, Michigan, guy next door is going to pick the man with the backpack, Scythe.
Ooh. Wow. I was putting the over-under from when we would exit from like Brisbane players at like the 5th pick. So moving that up to, wow.
Wolfman's like, thank you, Christ. I'm going to allow that. Oh, good Lord. Traj got pulled up by the moderator bot.
Yes, he did.
Wow.
Apparently that's like that. Apparently, in some language, that's like the N word and the C word put together.
So, Scythe, like every time I've seen him play, regardless of teammates or position or whatever, that dude just smashes. And if you want arguably one of the top 3 commanders of all time, in my opinion, that would be him. I think him at his best versus Rusty at his best, it's pretty close. Like, those guys are pretty damn close, in my opinion.
That is high praise.
I really think that he is an amazing Space Marines player. So that's why I've chosen him.
I certainly don't disagree.
Right. Do I get the next one as well?
So you get the next pick. Yeah, you get the 4th pick also.
Yay for 3rd. I'm gonna deviate from my list a little bit because I had a particular order, and you guys gone away from it, which is kind of cool. So with the 4th pick of the 2020 SM5 Greatest of All Time draft, guy next door is going to pick, playing out of Detroit, Michigan, originating from Wellington, New Zealand. I'm going to pick Brew himself, Baden. And the reason for that, wow, so seeing him play in Detroit after like shedding all of his weight, my goodness, he dominated. He dominated the last like few nationals I've played at. Actually, he's seemingly gotten better as he's gotten a little bit older. I would have loved to see him at his fighting best 10 years earlier, because I think he would have been one of the best players we've ever seen. But in my opinion, he still is one of the best players I think I've ever seen. When he plays, again, any position that he plays, he dominates at. He was crap 10 years earlier.
No, actually, Al actually has a really good point there. Baden is better now than he used to be.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would agree.
So I mean, I would say he's much closer to his peak now than, 10 years ago.
He was good, but he, obviously,
he was good, but he wasn't the same level of potentially dominating.
Like, I felt like if I had been, God, this is going to sound arrogant as fuck now. I felt like if I'd been better practiced in Syracuse in 2011, I think that I was probably on relatively similar footing with Baden about that time if I'd been practiced. But now, yeah, he's better than me, and I'm not going to make any argument to the contrary. He's just a better player.
Yeah, he's a beast. Seeing him play last year and even the year before, like, he's just a very, very good player. So, I'm pretty.
Yeah, he shredded my 3 hits in 2017. I wasn't too happy about that.
Yeah, that's me. What else you got? What do you guys got?
All right, DK, you're up.
All right, if I'm up,
we need some music.
Man, yeah, this is.
I feel like we need background music. God damn it.
This is getting a little bit tougher now. It's really hard for me to choose. Yeah, with the 5th pick, I have narrowed it down. Here again, you guys can just accuse me of slurping off the Brisbane players because it's going to be one of 2 Brisbane players. It's very close, but based on both what I've seen and the analysis given to me by some players I really respect, with the 5th pick, I am taking Beast.
Nice.
So, most U.S. players, I'm pretty sure, have not played against Beast. And indeed, I've only played against him once, which was when he was on the Golden Oldies in 2018.
Thank you for the sub.
I don't think he had played at least like a league or a term or something like that in maybe a decade is too long, but quite a while at that point. And barely seemed like he'd lost a step. He was just an incredibly well-controlled heavy. He was a force on the field. He backed up Rusty's attacks like perfectly. He was in amazing sync. I had heard from both Rusty and Tragedy that in like between like 2000, probably 2009, he was consistently battling for like one of the top spots. Like Rusty, Tragedy, Fredo, Beast were all up there, but they all probably at one time or another had some kind of claim to be at least fighting for the best player in Brisbane kind of spot. And I've just seen in some of the tournament records that they've had that Beast has been aptly named. He's been a beast. So I feel pretty good about that pick too.
I think that's a pretty good pick. Like he was so casually good about it as well. Like he played.
Yeah, him and Thunder are the 2 players I've seen where it's like you don't think they're dominating because of how casual they seem to be approaching the game, but then they just smash. They will just utterly annihilate you.
Yeah. I've heard, like I played against him. I think he was at the first tournament that I ever played at. I can't remember now, but yeah.
If that was in like 03, I think that's probably correct.
Yeah, the amount of praise that I've heard sung about that man. He's a very good player. Good pick, you bastard.
Yeah. All right, back to me.
And that fan gets 2 picks in a row.
Let's go, Shiny.
I put the hat on and everything, man. Come on.
So if I would pick you on my team if I was legit allowed to reflect off you. Sorry for the drive-by. Proceed.
All right.
3 drinks. Fucking hell. Cheers. Ugh. I'm gonna need like once I empty this bottle, I'm gonna fill it up again.
we may take a pee break after we finish like the first 3 rounds.
Yeah.
All right, so
Ghosty, what up, dog?
All right, so I've got 2. Well, I'm gonna go with another. Basically, it's gonna be another 2 Brisbane picks here because I do have the practical advantage over you guys of having seen some of these guys closer to their primes.
But can you trust your memory? You're pretty old.
I am pretty old, but I don't I don't feel like I'm gonna go wrong with either of these. So with my next 2 picks from Brisbane, I'm taking Fredo at his prime and Prophet at his prime.
Wow.
There was a name I thought might come up.
Way to drop both in one. Saw some leg, mate.
So most people that have seen Fredo at this point, have seen basically lazy Fredo,
Fat Fredo.
lazy Fredo, fat Fredo, and he's still pretty goddamn good. My understanding of when he was not lazy and fat is he was really good. Prophet is still right now with how I'm building this. Prophet is actually my commander for this team.
Wow.
Because and the reason for that is I have never seen a commander play have such a great awareness for where medics are and how to just fucking rape them. I don't have a better word for it. Like he.
Well, you better find one. It's 2020, buddy.
Yeah, I reckon. Jesus.
I never necessarily saw him put up, super huge scores, but always saw him walking out with just these ridiculous amounts of medic hits. He's very efficient and effective in his prime. So, that's kind of how this is building out.
That's like the deep cut pick right there.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you guys, sorry, just to step aside for a moment, do you guys have any drinks in front of you?
Me?
Yeah, either of you two, because I've already drunk my whole drink bottle, and we've got like 4 hydrate bots in the chat.
I didn't make the emote. I'm not being punished for your poor decisions.
You're one of 3 that started this thing. So if I'm gonna drink a whole bottle of water, have at it.
All right, I want it up in my percentage for this.
Yeah, I think those are two pretty solid picks. Like those two at their peak, especially Fredo. Like I remember again my first tournament, and like the stories that I had heard about Fredo, I was like, fuck, this guy's gonna be like tough as shit, and he was again another beast. So you had like that team, they had Rusty, Fredo, and Traj, like insane, crazy team.
Yeah, it was like the golden oldies, but when they were all closer to their peak.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Rusty probably got better also after that. Also, I don't know. It'd be hard for me to pinpoint when exactly Rusty's peak was.
Like whenever he
been really good
tag.
for a long time.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
I kind of need more liquid.
Yeah. So that's me. DK, you're up.
Yeah. So of those first 7 picks, 6 of them were on my top 6 for the draft. In fact, the top 6 matched exactly what my top 6 were. Maybe not in the exact order, but close enough. So thus far, a lot of consensus. Oh, pressure's on. I don't really want to pick another Brisbane player.
Look, you pick who you pick, right?
Yeah, but I think I am going to deviate just slightly, though, to kind of rearrange the conversation. And I think because of the way this is shaking out, I might also want to throw the positions around a little bit. So with the 8th playing out of Oakley, I'm going to take Mental.
Ooh, good pick.
Okay.
So yeah, I have never actually played against Mental. I have only spoken to him online. I've never even met him in person because he bitched out on us for our 2018 team that we were supposed to be on, and he left us high and dry.
Accurate.
But I know him by reputation, and the fact is that he competed against all of these guys in the top 6 and was competitive with them.
Yeah.
And if you look at previous tournaments and things like that, if I go all the way back to like the late 90s and look at the Australia New Zealand scene, there might have only been a few sites that were competing, but I have to count wins. And other than Brisbane, Oakley was one of the few sites that was actually winning titles. And if I have to evaluate that, I'm going to give a lot of credit to their best players, of which Mental, I think pretty consensus, was their best player. So that's my logic on that one.
Nice. He was, I'm gonna say he had a very short run because I guess he kind of did like from a tournament perspective, But
it's peak value. It's peak value.
exactly
so.
right. Minter was awesome at home and had the swagger to go with it. Away from his own center, he didn't seem to be able to adapt as well as others. Maybe, like, I can't remember. I remember him maybe struggling in Auckland. I don't know. But maybe that's just because.
Well, I'm going off of Oakley. Still got third behind Brisbane A and B in 2009. They came second to you guys in 2008, and I believe they still came third in Auckland behind the home site in Brisbane in 2006. So
yeah,
he wasn't as good outside of his home field, which I
Yeah.
know is a kind of constant thing about Oakley players in particular because their maze is kind of idiosyncratic. But it's still a pretty solid tournament resume. In my opinion.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so there's been a lot of I can see you chat, especially you East Coasters. Have been throwing up some shade.
Yeah, I knew it was coming.
And I had the
American contingent is coming. Don't worry.
I had switched around my choices, but it's my team's looking a little more US based than both of yours, which is surprising. But with my third pick in this year's greatest of all time 2020 draft,
Blah blah blah.
playing out of Detroit, Michigan, guy next door select Micro.
Old pick.
Yeah,
right.
I've only seen him play one tournament. And I had him actually on my list of people. I have him third on my overall list. But I at the last minute switch him and Baden around. Because I thought that Baden might have gone to one of you guys earlier. But I would select him based on what I saw in Detroit because holy shit. From an attacking standpoint, like crazy.
He's
Crazy
real
good. And not only that, but all, again, based on reputation as well as what I saw last year. Dude, I hate to keep using this, but dude's a beast. So like from my perspective, if I had that attacking three, which is, I suppose, Detroit A team's attacking three.
Yeah, but I'm already feeling good about my team because I know that yours would just melt down.
Fair. I mean, I saw him melt down a little bit last year, and it was like probably the coolest meltdown I think I've ever seen. It was awesome.
Yeah, but Baden wasn't on that team. You throw him into the mix with Type and Micro. I'm pretty sure there's going to be fireworks.
G&D got more mad than Micro did? Yeah, but I get mad all the time. I'm all just loud. You can put a chair in my hand, though? Oof. Yeah.
It's pretty fantastic. Yeah.
Dangerous. All right, so we got three each. We got half a team each. Looking at my list again, I'm gonna have to deviate a little bit. Hang on.
Not just gonna draft Detroit A. What a suck up.
Yeah.
Recency bias.
Here comes
Recency
my
bias.
Wolfman pick. No. I love you, bro, but I'm gonna go. Oh fuck! I don't know. Oh, this is tough.
Well, and now you're as you've kind of gotten off the top tier at as it were, and I know that there are top tier players that existed in the dawn of time that like we have no experience with, so we're not picking.
Yeah.
Now you're getting into this zone where you have so many players that are so comparable that now you're almost building. You're either building for position or you're building for what you think would be the most optimal flow for a team. I mean, there's going to be people left out of all three of our teams that all three of us can be like, we could have put this person in. So
This is where the butt hurt starts.
Yeah, this is definitely where the butt hurt starts.
Also, I did think about this beforehand, but like as with most drafts, like the picks didn't go how I thought they were gonna go, and it adds up all sorts of opportunities. But you bring up an interesting point about volatility, and I would want to add a little bit of calm to the mix. So. With my fourth pick, playing out of Oakley, Melbourne, Australia, G&D selects Hoodlum.
Oh,
Ooh, not who I thought you were going with on that pick.
yeah, me either. Wow.
So Hoodie, from a pure scout point of view, and a medic killer point of view, Hoodie is the GOAT. Hoodie is the one person you can count on to kill the medic at every single tournament he plays, and not only that, he does it usually while he's cut. Like, if you're drinking all day and go and kill the medic out of the game.
I mean, he might get missiled 100 times, but he will get those medic hits.
Yeah, he's going to get the medic hits.
Fort fucking teen of them. 14!
So I went back and
Jesus
checked. I went back and checked
Thanks for letting me get shot 14 fucking times by drunk Hoodie. Thank you so fucking much, you fucking wanker.
So I went back and checked the stats on that game because I was like, that's a lot of times. That's a lot of medic hits to get from one game. I
think he needed 10 to get the trophy.
Yeah. And look, I still maintain that was not done on purpose. Like, I don't like losing, and I don't like people getting past me as a heavy. So I wanted him to earn it, and he fucking earned it. But he certainly did. He didn't do a whole lot else during the game.
Take it from someone else who played that game on Hoodie's side. Yeah, that was not choreographed at all. He just went in and did his job.
It dominated, but like he was purely focused on getting medic hits. That the rest of the game, like that, nothing else really happened in that game. So yeah, he killed the medic a lot for sure, but we won. So fuck all y'all.
Valid point is valid.
So yeah, I think he would add a little bit of stability to that team. Maybe diffuse some. He's at the other end of the spectrum, in my opinion, when it comes to how hot I've seen Micro run, and how.
All three of those players run pretty hot at times.
Yeah, but they do it in a different way. I think I'll leave it there because I'm going to say something that I'll regret. So that's my fourth pick. Who you got?
Well,
who you got, DK?
Now you've denied me the mental and hoodlum combo that I was maybe going to try to pull off in a later round, thinking that Hoodie might still be on the board, but you've scooped him up now.
Yeah.
So you're trying to add some stability to your team. Well, I already added mental, so I'm pretty sure I've already added some volatility to my team. But
yeah, a little bit.
Let's just go ahead and take that keg of gunpowder stuffed with dynamite and go ahead and just add a lit match just hanging over there. Because with the, 11th pick that we're on now, I am going to take out of Brisbane one Mr. Taipan.
Nice. Good choice. When you said volatility, that's exactly who I thought you were going to take. Because I had him ranked higher, but if I think I added him to my team, they wouldn't make it out of the armory. Like,
you make a super valid point with that. That is, yeah. I don't know how much more needs to be said with that. We know.
Well, he's a great player.
Great player. No, for sure.
He is.
It's just it's the off the field issues that come with him. DUIs, aggravated no. But yeah, did you want to talk about your pick a little more, or that's?
I mean, yeah, he's super good because the first time that I played against him was in 2014. I really didn't know anything about him, but he was described to me as somebody who was up and coming in the Brisbane scene. He was relatively new then, but on what I guess was considered the Brisbane B team at that point, he definitely backpacked them to a pretty significant extent until they had a little meltdown when it came to finals and Brisbane C pulled that upset on him. But I blame them for messing with their positions a little bit too much. But he was putting up solid work. He was a constant thorn in our side in 2017 when he was heavy alongside Rusty when Brisbane sent over that Murderers Row team against our Sacramento A team.
Yeah.
As is usually common, he wasn't quite as dominant in the Sacramento field as he was in Brisbane, but he was still really damn good. He still scored a lot of points. He defended very well. He got medic hits. He supported his team. And he managed to coexist with Rusty and Tredge, even though I know sometimes there's a little bit of friction.
A little bit.
But he just wants to win. He wants to win. I know he's super competitive, as happens, I think, to all of us. Sometimes that competitive spirit gets the best of us, but I can't doubt his skill level. Taipan's a really good player.
Now, would you have him as first pick to organize the awards dinner after this tournament?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Look,
that is some elite tournament coordinator level.
I mean, he got an A for effort, and that's what I like. Yeah, A for effort.
I'm gonna be honest, I liked hanging out in that park. We just should have done it a little bit earlier, but it was a really cool park and a nice scene just to hang out.
When you say earlier, you mean February, right?
Yeah, Brisbane time.
Yeah.
Oh, and the other thing I would add too is that there are very few players who I think can switch, especially in like 3-hit roles, and can be equally good at commander and heavy. Most people specialize in one or the other. The two I've seen do it the best are Scythe and Taipan.
Right.
So I'm not at all unhappy to have either of them because I know they can both play both 3-hit positions equally well and other roles as well.
He kind of reminded me, when I first met him, he reminded me of like a young Mental, just in the way that he held himself in the maze, like the ego that like usually elite like players have. There's always ego with like people who are alpha or like good at competitive sports, I would say. There's always ego, so he really reminded me of Mental actually. Oh, I'm loving this. This is fucking awesome. Actually, I would really love to see if you haven't already, which I know a lot of you US guys haven't, because you know we are on at a difficult time of the evening, especially for like East Coasters, from what I understand. Come join us in the Discord. I would very much love to hear people's takes on who they think.
I say we take off and nuke the entire site from orbit.
On who they think should who they would pick. If given the choice, who they would pick in their teams. Right. Than. Do you wanna do one at a time? You wanna front load these things, just like, you know, just blast them out, just willy nilly, right? Fucking bit of foreplay.
Why me?
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah, get us warmed up first.
Double blind me.
I'll use one finger first, and then I'll add the second. It'll be fine.
Right. On that note.
All right. So next player I'm taking is it's another, as Wolfman has been saying in chat. It's going to be another boomer pick. Because I'm fucking old. Okay? I'm old, and I do have the practical advantage of being pretty much the only U.S. player who has seen some of the older Australian players at their peak. So obviously,
let me tell you, back in the day, the players were so much better. They would play a back-to-back match, and they wouldn't drink any water in between. They'd get in a fist fight in the middle of the maze, and they'd still finish it out.
I mean, all those things are true.
Yeah.
You're
I'd
not
say
wrong.
that applies.
So
choose Kraken, you cowards.
no.
Tell me how to
So
run my
playing out of Oakley with the next pick, which is pick 12. I'm gonna take Dragon.
Nice.
Ooh, wow.
He was on my list.
Bold pick. So explain.
So, as I'm building this team, I'm looking for scouts at this point. Hoodie was going to be my next pick, but you fucked me on that. Like, and the thing is, Steve-O, if you hadn't fucked me, GK was about to fuck me. So, there would have been no lube there anyway. So fuck both of you. But
no,
Darren...
if Steve had picked somebody different, Hoodie probably wouldn't have been next on my list. I would have assumed he would have been there later, so you could have scooped him.
Scoop.
Yeah, and Al in chat says a far more boomer pick would have been Snookums. I never saw Snookums play, Al. So I'm trying to only pick based on people that I've seen play, or maybe just one of those things.
Yeah. But if you'd managed to get Dragon and Hoodie on the same team, you definitely would have had by far the team that could play drunk better than any other team on the planet.
You just had to have it.
Yeah.
Like it wouldn't even be close. Other teams would all be passed out on the floor, and they would just be cleaning up missiles and medikits.
Chuck a night owl in there, trifecta.
Yeah. So the reality kind of like that. I mean, that's a front four of threes and scouts, at least in kind of how I'm thinking through this. So moving on to the 13th pick. So now we're kind of back into what I'm thinking is more of the resupply picks. With some additional potential to rotate things around. So for this, I'm gonna pick everybody's favorite buddy. I'm going with Thunder from St. George. So this is one of those. He's one of those picks that, and I know we've mentioned this before with the players. You don't understand or realize like quite just how badly he is absolutely just fucking wrecking you.
Yeah.
Whoa, hey, watch your language. Put some respect on Thunder's name.
You make a valid point.
Oh, jeez.
Golly shucks darn. You don't understand like just how much he is wrecking you, because he's walking around so calmly, he's moving so calmly, he never
swears.
Never seems like he's in a hurry. It's always just kind of floating around doing stuff. And then you come out of the game and you're like, wait a minute, what?
Yeah.
What? Plus there's also a huge amount of versatility that you get with him on a team. You're not locked into specific lineups, and he's a great teammate. He's a supportive glue type player, in addition to being an impact player, in addition to being somebody who can actually just slide back and support if there's other alpha type players that are playing.
Yeah.
So,
and I mean, I'll add to that if we're talking peak value also, like Peak Thunder, I don't know when Peak Thunder would be, because he has played kind of support positions in the last several tournaments. I think the last time he really played primarily 3-hit was probably 2017 in SAC. And as I recall, he was the all-star heavy that year.
Yeah.
He got voted over some of the other top-ranked players like Taipan, Yama. I think Scythe I don't know if Scythe had played enough games of Heavy. He might have only played Commander that tournament, but still, that was really solid competition.
Yeah.
But I would say around like 2010, 2011, kind of when the US tournament scene was getting back up and running, there really kind of was a conversation about who the best player in the US is. And before it was widely acknowledged to be Scythe, I think Thunder was kind of at the top of everybody's list.
Right.
So he's still very good, but I would say whenever you would consider Thunder's peak to be at 2010, 2011, he was as good as any of the other American players at the very least.
I mean, yeah, like every time I've, like I look at, there's some players that have specific positions in Space Marines that you always associate. Like if someone's like, who's the best commander of all time? In my opinion, Rusty. When people say who's the best heavy of all time, it's one of three, and he's one of those people. The dude is so hard to break, and what's worse is that he does it in such a wholesome manner where the rest of us are pretty foul-mouthed. We say some pretty horrendous shit,
Accurate.
on a sliding scale. That dude's always at the gee golly end, and doesn't ever go above like a gosh darn it. So yeah, pretty solid pick, man. Good pick. Like it.
Yeah, that may very well have been my pick. Now it's really tough.
Yeah, now
It is.
Now as we're into this, we're getting further into that.
There's
very little differentiating between things. It's all.
There are two names that really spring to mind for this. What are we on now? 14th pick.
Yeah.
This
14th.
is
Really,
also like,
yeah, there's two names that really spring to mind.
this is
Go ahead,
before you
Steve.
do it. This is like some of the best chat involvement I think I've seen in any one of our streams so far. It's been
Good.
great.
Good.
Oh, this is just watching numbers. Like this is definitely by far the most interactive stream we've had yet.
Yeah. Thank you for dropping in. Appreciate it.
So apparently we just need to have better content like this every week. You know,
We just need to have more pissing contests, and
That's right.
we'll be.
We'll be
Well,
fine,
I mean,
yeah.
but when you say pissing, don't say pissing content, because out come the hydrate bots. So
Fair. Yeah,
This
there are
content is the
really
worst.
two players on my list at this point. One is a Brisbane player, and I think I've picked enough Brisbane players. So I am going to go with a player very near and dear to me, and I'm going to take Flint.
nice, good pick.
Yeah, Flint was one of the best players in Sacramento I think I've ever played against. Quite honestly, I think he was the best Sacramento player I've ever played against.
Agreed.
I had battles with players over the years when I was kind of trying to work my way up, and in the early years we had like Than had his run, Lejeune had his run, Yama had his run. I feel like I kind of came a little bit more to the fore around like 2003, 2004, and then again in like kind of the mid 20 teens. I think it was more a matter of experience at that point. But starting in 2009, Flint was a player that I had my eye on from the start because I saw that he had amazing instincts. He understood the game at such a high level. He was super quick. He was accurate. He knew how to do all the right things. And he was somebody I knew I could rely on even when he was, I think, 14 in his first tournament that he played, and had a maturity that was way beyond his years. As time went on, I knew that there were other tournaments, even when our team didn't perform as well as I'd hoped. 2010 and 2011 come to mind. But I still saw him play great through adversity. In 2013, the last term I got to play with him, he pulled us through to get from the semifinal to the final, where, as Than and I described, we epically shit the bed in the final. But just to get to the final, to beat the other kind of high level Detroit teams, the other high level East Coast teams and stuff like that. It took a team effort, but Flint was indisputably our leader through that. He played really well in a number of different mazes. He could play a lot of different positions really well. I have no doubt that he would have continued to develop and to be a great player, and I think would have easily been as good as probably Micro or even Scythe. And we lost him too soon, and I'm getting a little edge, a little choked up now just thinking about Flint. But big ups.
I'm gonna add to that because fuck you, that was literally my next pick.
Well, you should have taken him earlier. Frankly, you're insulting to him.
That is potentially an accurate statement, but yeah, you're 100% not wrong. That I mean, when we lost him, he hadn't peaked yet. Like
no, he's gotten better every year.
There is not a doubt in my mind that we had not seen his ceiling yet. And I genuinely think that had he made it to Brisbane when he was supposed to, I think that would have basically been that rank up step. I think getting into that environment for that tournament would have next leveled his game.
I think if we'd had him, we would have been competitive for second or third rather than a really decisive fourth that year. And I think if you put him on that 2017 SAC team, we could have beat that Brisbane team in our home field. We could have beat them.
So,
there's been like 5 hydrate bots in the chat, and I had to find like the closest thing to drink.
Well, I'm going to be dehydrating out of my eyes here. We keep talking about Flint, so.
I didn't get to, unfortunately, I didn't get to like spend as much time as a lot of people did with him. I got to spend a little bit of time with him, and I remember, just hearing about this like up and coming, really talented, really nice kid, I mean, there's not a whole lot that I can say that, is any more meaningful than what you guys can. So, I know that he was held very high regard in the scene. And I know a lot of people miss him. It's pretty cool that we can honor him on a list of very little consequence.
He deserves to be on that list, though.
Yeah.
I'm very sorry to all the Australian New Zealand people who never got to play against him because he was really good.
Yeah.
There are not a lot of Sacramento players who I will go out of my way to say that, on their best day, they were definitely better than me, but Flint was definitely better than me on his best day.
And sometimes even on his worst day, which was really
sometimes even when it wasn't his best day, he had a few more good days than I did.
Yeah. All right. I hate to take away from the seriousness of where we are, but I'm gonna shake it off and get into being terrible at making lists. So I have my last 2 picks of consequence to round out my team. And before we did the list, actually, that is a very good note. So Pine Size in chat says, on that note, September is National Suicide Prevention Month. Take care of yourselves. I know it's a topic that's near and dear to a lot of people's heart.
Thank you for mentioning that, Rachel. I was actually going to say that. I didn't feel like I could get the sentence out, so thank you.
We had New Zealanders like particularly hit hard. I think we have one of the highest rate of suicide in young men in all the world per capita. So I think on average, one young man or one man will take his own life every day in New Zealand. So if you need to, reach out. Again, that's why we're here. That's why we have the Discord set up. That's why we have a community that for the most part is pretty tight. So, if you need someone, reach out and have a yarn or play a game of something or do something that helps you through whatever it is that you're going through, if you can. And vice versa, if there's people around that you know are going through some stuff, reach out to them and try and help them through. So, yeah. Right. Heavy.
Okay. All right.
So, G&D team winning it all. You're damn right, Ghosty. Until I add in, I don't know. It's tough because we started, we started this draft, and I asked the question throughout the week: Are we picking for position based, or are we just picking the top 6 or 7 people that we can to make a team? Doesn't really matter about position so far. And what I got back was both and neither. So with that in mind, my next two picks aren't really based heavily on positions, but rather skill, which I think is kind of the essence of this list. But both of these players could potentially fill out either resup or attacking or defensive, whatever role you need them to, because they have the talent to do it. So, with my number 5 pick, playing out of Auckland, New Zealand, guy next door picks himself. No, picks Virus. I pick Virus.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Virus at his peak, which again wasn't a long time, but it was a good time.
You're not wrong. You are not wrong.
He probably had a run of maybe 2 or 3 years where he was awesome and could hold his own against almost anyone else in the scene. And at the time, our scene really was Australia and New Zealand. But we had, some of the best players in their peak. We had Mental,
if this list is any indication, yeah.
Yeah, exactly right. Rusty, like he could hold his own against any of those players. Duckman, Owl, like all these great Australasian players. And for that span of sort of 06 to 08, he dominated. He was great. I think he probably could have sustained it a little longer, but he chased money to Europe, piece of shit, to start a family, which is irresponsible in my opinion.
It shows a lack of commitment to the game, frankly.
I reckon.
That I think is a very poor decision on your draft board.
yeah, maybe. But yeah, I think he was pretty great when he played. It was definitely a privilege that I got to play with such a talented player on the regular. I remember going. We went to Nationals in Brisbane in 2005. And he didn't go. No, he did go. Sorry, I got back from Nationals in... Fuck, when was it? It must have been 2003. I don't know. But we got back. And he just... I took a break for like 2 or 3 weeks. And then got back and he just taken over. He taken over Auckland Laserforce. He dominated everyone. So, yeah, that really pissed me off too, because I thought that I was one of the best players in Auckland, and it's always shitty when people play better than you if you're a sore loser like I am.
That's fair.
Yeah. So he would be my number 5 pick. My number 6, there's a list of guys that I would really love to have on my team, and there's I've got another 7 or 8 players that I could potentially choose from. And this person actually I have high up on my list, but I haven't actually chose them. I don't know. When you set a plan and you don't follow the plan, it seems dumb. But whatever. For my last pick, God damn it.
Well, technically, it's not your last pick. You do have an alternate slot.
True. But you kind of want your top 6, right? I mean, it is what it is. For my 6th pick, playing out of Brisbane, Australia. Guy next door selects Boom Train, aka Jared.
Well, there goes my pick.
I had him initially, Whippy. I had him initially much higher. Wacko.
Another deep cut. Another deep cut.
That is a deep cut, and that's fucking terrible. Fuck you, Dan.
I actually had him much higher on my list. But he's another great player, another great attacking player, who also brings a little bit of stability to a team that is front loaded with talent. But I mean, I guess the point is, like, any of these players could be slotted into any role.
Like Hoodie and Jared both are sneaky good medics also.
Yeah.
Like Hoodie knows how to kill medics, so he also knows where to be to not be killed as the medic.
Yeah. Him and Hoodie, actually, I switched at the last minute. I switched them. But yeah, both of them are amazing scouts as well. Like that. Yeah. When you want to see some examples of people who can play scout as a really impact role, I would look at those two guys first, personally, because they're just. For some reason, given the disadvantages of being a single hit and yada yada yada, they play so well. They play so fast. They play so effectively, and they really prop up any commanders that they're playing with. So, yeah, I would be happy with Jared as my sixth. That's me. That's my team. Go team G&D.
Oh yeah,
that's good. That's a good pick. It definitely would have been my pick.
Thanks for the follow. Appreciate it.
Which means, oh god,
hydrate.
I am prepared to take a massive rash of shit for this.
A shitty rash.
But with the final pick for my team, I'm going to take, out of Sacramento, I'm going to take myself. Good. I'm ready to eat all the shit needed.
Let him have it, chat. Let him have it.
Let me have it. Let me have it, please. But fuck you guys. I want to play on this team. This is a good team. I want to be on it.
Classic. Who are you? The GM of like the Clippers? Fuck.
Hey, I didn't take myself first.
So apparently we really fucked up in not having a rule about picking ourselves. With this.
Look, I was gonna take Jared.
Somebody, wait. Matt Godservant just redeemed. Choose which team we play as, and said DK to be removed from the team. I initially read that as stream. Get him out. All right, explain yourself.
Explain myself. Okay, well,
you asshole. Explain yourself.
Yeah, you think it's so good? Explain that.
Okay, so my resume is online. You guys can look it up. If y'all disagree, that's fine. You can come at me. I don't know. I've played a long time. I really wish, quite honestly, that I'd been able to play against more people who were still on the scene, like after US Nat started up in 2009, 2010. And I wish I'd been able to play against more Australian New Zealand players before the kind of modern era of tournaments, which I really consider to start about 2009. Maybe like sometime in 2009, 2011 as like the current era of tournaments where there's been a lot of overseas play and people playing multiple sites and actually comparing one another's games, things like that. In 2002, when we went to Houston, the first time I played against any Australian players, and it was Rusty, Night Owl, Dragon, and a mop, a broom, and a dustpan, and they still beat the shit out of everybody. Yeah. I looked at the game in a completely new way. Like, I will fully admit, back then that I was an egotistical little shit, and I thought that I was going to go in and dominate the tournament. Obviously, lots have changed since I've taken myself on the team now. I'm no longer the egotistical shit that I once was.
Yeah, I was about to say, what's fucking changed, you asshole?
Yeah. Hey, man.
But
but I felt like I learned so much from that tournament, and I think it was kind of at that point when it came back to SAC that we really kind of started taking Space Marines much more seriously, practicing a much higher caliber of game, and I feel like it paid off in 2004, which I still kind of consider to be my peak year. Just because of how well I feel like I played the Nationals that year, such as they were. But this is why I'm so upset that neither Rusty nor Mental, who at least one of whom I believe was supposed to come over that year and didn't, that I didn't get to play against them to see if my practice had actually paid off. Because I thought that I had been able to apply a lot. I was focusing on my game a lot in 2003, 2004 to be like, look, next time I play against Rusty, I want to be ready for him because he dominated me in 2002 and it was not a good feeling. I mean, I got dominated by him about 8 more times after that, and it still wasn't a good feeling, but I just had to bow down to respect at that point.
Got to pay double for that kind of action.
When the Modern Era started up, we did win in Detroit in 2009. I don't know if that really counts because it was just the restart of Nats. I have a couple of second place finishes after that. I have some all-star awards at multiple positions. Since 2009, I've gotten all-stars in Commander, Heavy, Scout, and Ammo. I feel like I'm versatile enough that I can play some kind of role on this team. I'm certainly not going to take myself as an attacking position on this team. I'll say that right now. I would definitely be slotted to Resup on this team, but I feel I can help out.
You are the fucking medic on this team, dude.
Yeah,
it's not even
no doubt.
a question.
Well, so I actually had both of you guys on my list of potentials if we were doing this based on a resupply, on a position based draft. And I had
there's still a 7 spot. You still have 7 spots to go. You may not want to shoot your wad on that yet.
Well, no,
I should have just taken myself as an alternate.
I had you on the list. But not as high as you're thinking.
No. I am under no illusions that I am on anybody's list as a 7-person team with an alternate. I'm under no illusions about that.
And look, I think to be good at any game, any competitive thing, you need to think of yourself as being one of the best. Like for a long time, my opinion of myself is I'm one of the best motherfucking heavies that play. No one can get past me except for Hoodie. Now, at my peak though, I don't think I'm not going to say you're anywhere near there now. But I think it's a healthy thing to have that ego. DK, talk about your purple Johnson. What the fuck?
Thanks, Wolfie. I'm assuming that was Wolfie.
Yeah, it absolutely was.
Yeah, it's a D&D inside joke.
Right. So fair. I mean, like these are our lists. So fuck all y'all.
Yeah, fuck all y'all. I'm taking myself. Y'all can come at me. Just give me a beat down next time we're in the maze together.
Then you're on my list to organize this from Mental.
Yeah. So for my 6th spot,
also so many asterisks.
So for my 6th spot again now, as I'm kind of thinking resupply, team gelling, making things work, and a certain level of calm. But
damn it.
Behind the scenes. Yeah. Not you at all, Steve. I don't love you that much. And again, somebody else that over time has a solid body of work and has proven over time that they can basically play with just about anybody. I'm taking Night Owl for my 6th.
Nice. Good choice.
That would have been the politically correct choice for me to make.
Yeah, but it's way more fun when you pick yourself.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm an egotistical asshole.
He's a great pick. He was going to be on my team as my seventh.
Yeah.
Quietly.
So this is one of those things like this 6. I'm happy with in peak form, as far as the amount of damage that could be done, and the balance around the team.
It's not a bad team for sure.
Yeah, I mean, so I don't think any of the front sixes that any of us have picked are bad teams. I mean, this the comment was made in chat earlier. Basically, I think it was Ghosty that wanting to see a tournament with all 3 of these teams playing
amazing
in peak forms. Like, that would be
terrifying.
fairly.
Yeah, me too. And I want to play in it. That's why I put myself on a team.
I'm happy being the team mascot of my team.
So, yeah. So I mean, as far as my front 6, I am perfectly comfortable with this. For my alternate, so this is Ed.
Traj versus Al in a ref dispute. I've been there for that, Shawnee, and it sucks.
It is fucking it's fucking terrible.
It's so shit.
Yeah, it's bad. So for my 7th, so DK, you actually fucked me twice, because you were actually going to be my alternate. So fuck
well, I should have just waited.
Yourself.
I could have not had to eat such a massive pile of shit then.
So thanks for that, I guess.
Well, Ben, there's not one female on this list. Sexists. We actually talked about that before we went live.
Discussed that beforehand.
Yeah. There hasn't been a huge body of work by female players over the years. Like, there's a lot of female players. But yeah.
The 2 who would most quickly spring to mind for me who could appear on this list would be Meow and Pint Size.
Yeah.
If I had to forward names immediately.
Tish was great.
Yeah.
She's a great player. Cookie was pretty good. Yeah. I hope and bring your girlfriends to play.
A terrible idea.
Yeah, my wife is a hard pass.
Yeah, mine too.
Yeah, because they're smart. So
they don't want to see that side of us. They don't want to see that side of us.
No, not even a little bit. So for my 7th, I'm actually going with a super deep cut from Sacramento, for someone who actually never got a chance to play on any of these levels. But I feel like if they'd had a chance to, they would have they would have been a really amazing player had they been able to be exposed to this, just based on how they approached the game, how they thought through the game, and really how they just wrecked the shit out of everybody when they did play. And this is Sephiroth from Sacramento. So I don't think anybody that is here that isn't DK knows who I'm talking about.
Cool.
Because
maybe 1 or 2 of the American players know, just because I've told the story. But yeah.
But sadly, he was another player that we lost. And
in the same manner, unfortunately.
Yeah.
We've had our share of tragedies at the Sacramento site.
Yeah.
And not the player.
Yeah, no. So I feel like this is a player that had he been able to be with us as we were starting to make those journeys into being the inner site play and everything else.
We had Trips.
He had so much
and-
raw potential. He was really good.
I would say that like Trips out of Auckland was kind of on par with from what it sounds like, a guy that like never really got into the tournament scene. Like he played in 2003 in my first Nats, but that team was terrible, and it was a random rotational tournament, and so like taking your best player who excels at being a commander and putting him something else like is rough. But yeah, it sounds like he like Trips could have been great but never really transitioned into a competitive scene. I mean, that's what it sounds like to me. I don't really know, so
Yeah, he unfortunately passed before our first Intersight comp that we had, all the way back in 1998. Our first comp was Houston in 99, but I am very certain he would have been on the A team, and I probably would not have been if he'd still been around. But it really sucks that we lost him too soon too, because I think he would have. I agree with Dan. I think he would have been a truly great player.
right. Rough.
Yeah, it's hard to know. Again, with the evolving meta and stuff like that, I have no idea. I have no idea how some of these players would have done kind of in the intervening years. So I can only go with what my experience is. Okay. My alternate.
Go for it, DK.
You can't pick yourself again.
However much you may want to.
Nope. I'm going to go in a different direction, and I'm going to get ready to eat even more shit because I am going to pick my Resupply co-host out of Auckland, New Zealand. I'm going Guy Next Door as my alternate.
Shit. Well, isn't that just nice? Thank you for the compliment, sir. Appreciate it.
So I'm going to scoop him both so he can't pick himself and so the pressure is on that you have to pick Fan. Otherwise, he gets left off the list. So this is strategic fuckery right here.
Throw them asterisks in chat, yo. D&D sucks? I mean, sometimes, yeah. Oh, that's really nice of you, sir.
I'm not sure if I saw you at your peak based on the stories that I know from 2008 and 2006, but I know Mr. Than, and believe it or not, I do respect his opinion quite a lot, and he had very high opinion of your play in those years. I had the fortune of playing on a team with you in 2012, and I honestly thought that we synced up so well, like immediately, even though we had never really played with each other, but I felt like we kind of just understood the way each other played the game, probably because we were both, Fan was our mentor earlier in both occasions, so we both kind of had the same thinking process. But I thought that was a really good team. That hybrid team that we had very few aspirations, we came very close to going to the final of that tournament. That's one reason why, for sure, I was drafting Flint well ahead of myself, because he smashed us in the semifinal. And certainly made the difference in that game. But I think that was good. And then you crushed in 2018. I was thinking that like our Oakley, our Average Joe's Part 2 would be competitive with you guys, and no, you guys smoked us so bad, and you were a big part of that, Steve. So I got to give you credit. You've been solid. You've got a solid resume in a lot of tournaments. You've also had your share of illness in some tournaments where I don't think you've been able to showcase your best talents. So I'm just going to put the asterisk on those and say that, hey, you know what? You would have been better if you hadn't had Kiwi AIDS or a chest burster in your stomach that wanted to come out in the middle of the night or something else.
We got milk. It's okay. Rusty put, don't compare him to the I don't have travel insurance G&D. Fair. Oh man, that's really nice of you. I worked really, really fucking hard in the build up to 2018. And I'm glad that it kind of showed a little bit. That certainly wasn't me at my peak, but much better than I played at any recent previous tournaments. It makes a real big difference when you don't carry around, the equivalent of sneak.
Wait, which parts of sneak?
All all parts of Sneak. It's like a
Oh,
tail.
blimey.
I would hydrate again, but y'all made me drink everything on my desk, including a really
I'll do it.
old,
I'll do it for you.
a real old bottle of Gatorade that was sitting at the back, and I was like, I guess I'm drinking that then. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. It's awfully nice of you. Did you want to say any more nice things about me, or should we move on?
We can save those for another time. Maybe
Okay.
maybe off stream, buddy.
Yeah, I'll pay. I'll pay for some like nice compliments or something. Wow. Okay. So unfortunately, only 2 of the 3 resupply hosts are gonna make this list.
Again, I am under no illusions that I should be anywhere near these teams.
Look,
Unlike the 2 of us, we have grand illusions of being on these teams.
now that I'm on your team, sort of as the 7th, I would be absolutely terrified to play against these other 2. Although everyone knows I'll be sitting on the sideline, getting the chair ready.
That's what you're there for.
We're gonna there are some, we got some honorable mentions for once we finish the list, because there are some people I want to pay
For sure.
homage to.
Sure.
But I think for my 7th, and this is a really hard pick for me because I hold them as kind of 2 equals. But based on recent performance, I don't know. It's really a coin flip. But for my 7th, I would pick. It's kind of cheating, but I would pick one of the 2 King brothers playing out of Auckland.
The other King brothers, not Jared and Mark.
Not Jared and Mark. Because
Fucking pick one. Pick one.
Where's a coin? I need a coin.
It's either 2K or Leech. You have to pick one. You can't just say you're taking both.
I would pick Leech. I'd pick Leech as my 7th.
It's the wrong choice, but okay.
Well, I flipped my card.
At least Leech won't fuck off a Nats to go to an EDM festival instead. Lack of commitment.
That's true.
Look at their peaks, which it's really hard to tell, because at their peak, you know what? Fuck it. I change it. I change my mind. I'm picking 2K. 2K King is my 7th pick.
That is the correct choice between the King brothers.
So and there's 2 reasons for that. 1, I feel bullied by the comment section, and 2, and
I'm not even reading it at this point. So,
and 2, based on Leech is awesome. I don't want to take anything away from him, but based on experience, and based on them at their very absolute peaks, which I'm not convinced we ever saw Leech at his peak. We got to see him play amazingly in 2018 in Brisbane, and had we have played him the whole tournament as commander, I probably would have. Yeah, I probably would have picked him over King. But King brings a lot of experience. Leech's old codename was.
No, it's always been Leech.
Nah, they changed. He
No.
changed it.
No, there was the 2018 was the first time he ever played outside of Auckland. His original code name was something else, but I changed
something.
it. Loose chicken or something stupid like that.
it's dumb.
But I changed it while I was still in Auckland because he was always bumming money off of his brother to play. So I started calling him Leech, and it stuck.
Yeah.
So yeah.
hashtag bring back loose chicken.
What was tough, because we had a player at the time whose codename was Chicken, and we were just like, dude, loose chicken is dumb. You need to change that. Yeah, so it's really hard for me to separate both King brothers, because they were both great, but in this instance, I'll take King over Leech purely on experience. Yeah, but had we got to see him play, no Micro, no Ghosty. Read the list again, Traj.
Micro's on there.
Oh, get your old man glasses out and have another look at that list.
Micro was in the top 3. He was the 7th pick in the draft.
that would be
Ninth pick.
that would be my seventh rounding out for reasons.
No,
'cause
that
I
was
can't make up-
so that was ninth overall.
Yeah, had to pull an excuse out of my ass. Yeah, like I said, I felt bullied, so I changed my answer. Fuck all y'all. I'm real bad at like trying to make sure I don't offend anyone. So if I offended you, let me know and I'll change my answer back. So we have a list of honorable mentions, and because I don't want to go too deep into this list because there are a lot of great players who have played over the years and who are still playing, and it's really hard to mention some without mentioning others and have them not feel sad about it. But honestly, we do this shit for fun, and just because we choose somebody else over other people doesn't mean that we like that person any less. It's purely just from opinion standpoints. But
maybe it does. Maybe.
I would. How do you want to do some honorable mentions? Do you guys?
I told you guys. This is purely selfish on my part. I want to play.
Yeah,
I want to play with these teams.
Did you guys have?
I don't care if I'm not good enough. I'm getting in there.
Yeah, greatest of all time. Asterix. You're unsubscribing. Smart move, Ducky. Do you guys?
Well, okay, let's start there. Duckman is on my honorable mentions.
Yeah.
Same.
Me too.
Okay.
At his peak, he was a terrifying prospect at heavy. Yeah, he was a great heavy. Again, like back in the early days when it was only Australasia. My picks for at that heavy position for the three sites were the three guys that played heavy the most, and that was me, Traj, and Ducky. I thought were the best heavies at the time in Australasia. Again, I don't know if I'm right or not, but that's just how it kind of felt to me. And maybe that's just because that's who were playing heavy at the time and nobody else wanted to. Ducky still scares you, Hoodie? Yeah, me too.
I mean, he scares me, but not as heavy.
Ducky's facial expression at all times scares me. It's like I feel like Paul's about to murder me. I don't think he's going to murder me, but he could.
Murdered with words, maybe.
Yeah.
Something's happened with the chat, and for whatever reason, it's paused itself. But that's okay. I can see it popping up on the screen. It's just weird.
Good job, guys. You broke chat.
No, same. I just had to refresh my browser to get chat going again, even though I can still see it kicking across the screen.
So, I mean, I would say that of the core 18 that I had on my list for who I was going to take to draft in, 17 out of 18 were ultimately chosen in our top picks. The only one who wasn't on my original list, who I was going to put in alternates or honorable mentions. Oh, no, sorry. There were two. Were Prophet and Dragon. And that was mostly just because I don't feel like I have the proper frame of reference to evaluate what they were at their peak. But they were certainly toward kind of the top of my list of, I think these players should at least be in the conversation. I just don't feel like I'm qualified to make a judgment there.
Sure.
So I'm certainly happy to see them on Than's list if he does feel like he has that frame of reference. But somebody who was on my core list who didn't end up making it onto one of the teams is another U.S. player. I would put Beans. I would put in an honorable mention. I had him as what would have been if I had the 18th pick, probably my pick.
Yeah, I think it's a good pick. Like he we should talk about Rookie of the Year award. And what a snub last year was. Oh, hard pass. Yeah, I think that's a good pick. Like, he's been around for a long time, has held his own against a lot of great players, and
unfortunately, probably his best moments came in the Nats that didn't happen the States. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Whereas much shit as he's gotten in the past for, maybe not playing Commander when people thought that he should have, or having a Syracuse team that he felt underperformed or something like that. they've still had a pretty solid record in a lot of tournaments, both in their home field, and they've gotten like consistently better each time they've gone to a tournament in either Detroit or SAC. Like that Syracuse St. George hybrid team that played in 2017, that was a really good team.
Now I could be wrong, but Thunder seems to have been hacked because he is casting all sorts of shade in chat. He's saying,
hacked fake news.
Yeah, good performances don't count in your own arena. Beans equals bad. Get him.
I think he's had enough good performances outside of his field that I would consider him. Other players who I would put in honorable mentions, who I know are great players, I just have not really seen them play outside of their home field, would be Aussie Legend.
Yeah.
Scorpion.
Yeah.
War Dog.
Yeah.
Mortis.
Yeah.
Ghosty.
Yeah.
And Kordash.
Yeah. I had contemplated putting Cordy on my list, but
Cordy was
most other US players, let alone overseas players, have never gotten to play against him. Kordash is so good.
Yeah.
He's so good, man.
Yeah.
And he's such a good teammate too.
Yeah.
I would go ahead and add Yama and Venom to that list. I think, again, you guys probably know them.
Venom sucks.
Know them better than I do. But from a somewhat outsider's perspective, every time I've seen both of those guys play, which happened to, I think, be mostly at Sacramento. I can't recall either one of them playing outside except for 2010, which Yama was at, but I was barely conscious for that whole week, so that didn't really count. But I thought both of those guys are very good players, who were sort of outside of my list. But yeah, I had some of those guys. Ghosty was on my sort of extended list as well. If you were looking at from a pure position standpoint,
if I were just drafting a position, he's the best medic I've seen play the game.
Crazy
for sure.
good.
I just, again, I don't have the frame of reference to evaluate how he does out of Detroit. I saw him play in Syracuse a little bit, but it was long enough ago that I don't really remember. And he played a few other positions in that tournament. But I have enormous respect for Ghosty and how good of a reset player he is, and how good of a tandem he and Disco Stew are as resup, because they just lock it down.
Do you Ghost is the best medic in the world? For sure. Pretty damn good. Hoodie has brought up an interesting prospect. He said, looking at these teams, I'm so interested in positions. Do you guys want to put together your team? Who would you play where?
One more honorable mention I would make, because we brought up Thunder, somebody else from St. George I would also put in the conversation, who I just don't think has quite as long of a tournament resume though, is Tandor. Tandor is also, I've always thought, is an excellent player, who fits really well in a lot of teams, who plays a number of positions very well. I had mostly seen him play 3-hit, but he was certainly one of the most talented, if not the most talented scout last year in Detroit. He did a lot of work for that team. I think maybe they would have been better off putting him at 3-hit in a couple of occasions, but he obviously plays a lot of positions very well. So he's at least on my honorable mentions.
Nice.
And another US player who I'd want to put in. And there are probably more, like I said, we're awful sexist here on the resupply. I had said most notably people who would spring to mind would be Meow and Pint Size. Cookie probably also on the list as really solid women players that we've had over the years. We just women are underrepresented in laser tag in general. I would love to see that change. I really want to see more women players get involved.
So I've got one honorable mention that hasn't been thrown out yet.
Sure.
Oh yeah. Also Than should also be an honorable mention. If I didn't put him in, I apologize.
I'm pretty sure I said him. Did I not?
I thought you did, but I did just in case.
No, actually you didn't.
I had you.
Okay.
So
you're on a dishonorable mention.
I wrote out like my playing out of stuff so that I didn't fuck it up. And next to your name, I put playing out of ... nowhere.
Well, that's both of us at this point.
Well, I mean, yes, but like, I mean, giving Than a home site by default, it's sack, but like, I don't know. That dude gets around.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like
He seemed happier in
He's
Auckland.
everywhere.
He seemed happier in Auckland. I think you guys can adopt him at this point.
I mean, I'd happily take him. Are we saying that Than is honorable mention for the women's team? I don't think they'd want him.
No, I'm terrible.
Not enough hair.
Me, however, luscious. I could absolutely make that team because I can't grow a beard either. Sorry,
I think it's like evolving into like Cthulhu tentacles now that are like coming out from the team.
they like I actually can't get up from this chair because I'm anchored to it by my hair. Sorry, Than, we interrupted. Who is your honorable mention?
So my honorable mention, and it's from Auckland, is actually Trips.
Yeah,
because so Trips is one of those players that I look at is just so much fucking wasted potential.
Oh yeah.
So much wasted potential.
Yeah.
You know, he was. I mean, obviously, he was good. He was. Yeah, he could score a lot of points. He could do a lot of stuff. But you know, but he was fried like 95% of the time.
Yeah. Don't do drugs, kids.
And so that's just one of those. He's one of those players that I look at and it's like, if you hadn't been such a fucking waste of space, you were already really good.
Yeah,
you could have been that next 2 or 3 levels up, and and really made an impact within the scene as far as being one of those super top tier players that people fear.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a projection for that's kind of like my M5 pick. It's a projection of where I think he could have been at peak had he not been so fucked up.
Yeah, I think as well. Oh, thank you, Thunder, with the sub. Appreciate it. That's really nice.
Thanks, fake Thunder.
Yeah, Thunder, if that is even your real name. Yeah, it's a shame. Although I do wonder because there was a whole lot of people that stopped playing when we entered what I lovingly refer to as the Age of Thanatos. When you moved down and cleared out a bunch of the riffraff. And it kind of it happened not as a active thing, but rather as we're evolving as a site. And if you don't want to be a part of it, then there's probably not going to be room for you here. And so we lost maybe a half a dozen players during that cull, and they had talent too. They were talented players, but they were unwilling to kind of change with the times. And so, plus, apparently drugs are more fun than laser tag.
Bullshit.
Yeah, bullshit. All right, well, so I think Maddie requested, and this is kind of what I was thinking as well, we go through and we name, and rather than going through our teams, we go through positions. So name your commander, name your heavy, name your scouts, name your resup, okay? Then, seeing as you got the first pick, would you like to name who your commander would be?
It's Prophet. It's not even a question. It's Prophet.
I mean, I think you said it during selection. Why?
Yeah, he's at his peak. He was so efficient. Just such. I mean, such an efficient killer of medics. It was fantastic.
Mentor said, "Hey DK, does the young girl whose bedroom you're using mind?"
It's my guest room. Thank you very much.
So if you didn't notice, I full screen DK before, so you can actually see the layout of his room. So if you're thinking about casing the joint, pay particular attention to what's over his shoulder over here, because that kind of portfolio of work will get you selected to his greatest of all time team.
That's right. You just got to put in the body work, kids.
Who have you got a commander?
On my team, I am going to take Taipan as commander.
Nice.
And I would like to take this opportunity to tell Than that he's fucking insane that he drafted Rusty #1 and didn't put him as commander, and that should be instant dequalification.
I agree. Who I would consider the greatest commander of all time.
Who's your commander?
I don't know. This is a tough choice because I think at their highest level of skill, I would still probably have to put Scythe as my commander. I'd choose him as my commander.
I probably would too in your situation, just because, again, I've seen the body of work outside of Detroit.
Yeah.
Micro, I am fairly certain because I know that he is also a cross-system player and he's an excellent zone player as well.
Yeah.
So I have relatively little doubt that he would flourish in other fields outside of Detroit. I don't have the frame of comparison, but I know Scythe's done very well in the field. So,
well, I would say
I'd give him the nod.
On my team, like I have 4 MVP caliber commanders, being Scythe,
You're not wrong.
Micro, and Virus. All 4 of those guys are MVP caliber commanders. I think in my position.
I agree. They're all better than Prophet.
Do we want to snake this or what? No, we'll just go Than. Who's your heavy?
Rusty's playing heavy.
Right on.
That's
Boo, bad choice. Rusty sucks at heavy.
I mean,
he'll never defend the medic.
From what I hear, he would have done much better in his league if he was a better heavy. Just saying. No. I can't back that up with any facts. Yeah. Put him anything. He's gonna play awesome.
Yeah.
That's I guess kind of the point, right?
Yeah, and this is one of those positional choices that because Prophet has Hoodie's medic seeking radar, but another level up. This just frees Brent to just like, okay, just go and. I mean, you're probably not going to have to defend much. Just go and break shit, and break shit so that Prophet can, wreck shit at the same time, and it'll be fine.
Yeah,
be fine.
Who's your heavy, DK?
This is a tough call.
Oh yeah,
between Traj and Beast. You really can't go wrong with either of them.
This is not a tough call in any way, shape, or form.
You're wrong. Why are you even here?
if you're going by peak power, this is not a tough call. So
I mean, I think it is.
Let's see what you decide.
Given the array of players that I have, I'm going to take Beast at heavy.
Nice.
That is the correct call. Okay, I don't have to mock you down.
Well, it's like there's all sorts of people just saying Beast dominating in the chat.
Again, I agree with you guys. I think that Peak Traj is also a tremendous heavy, though.
Yeah, it really.
That's all I'm saying. I'm not. Yeah.
Yeah. How is that a difficult call? Because we like controversy here. Clearly, because DK picked himself on a team where he was GMing.
Because we are trying to increase engagement in the chat. Come on, have you not figured out? That's why we're doing.
Oh, I've trolled you all so hard.
Yeah. Asterisks, big old asterisks on this whole podcast.
Just all about the channel views, kids.
For me, heavy is going to be Baden. Baden's our heavy.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. Solid pick.
Yeah, I think like. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Cool. He is a heavy because he every time I played him and he's played heavy. I remember when we played in when was it? I think it was the first Nats I played in Sacramento. It was on your team, yeah, DK? Oh, yeah, it was on both your teams.
That was our hybrid team. Yeah,
yes.
All 4 of us.
All 4 of us
here and Baden.
Yeah, Pint Size and Feek. Yeah. Yep. So I remember at the start of the tournament, he had a messed up back, because I was originally going to play heavy and he was going to play scout.
Yeah. We only flipped midweek.
Yeah, he was like, bro, my back's killing me. Can I play heavy? I was like, yeah, man, fuck yeah, go nuts. And I mean, it's not the only time he's dominated. So easy choice for me. Oh, that commander and heavy combo. God damn.
That's a lot of scary. It's a lot of scary combos right there.
Who you got, Dan?
Scout time.
All right, so I figure we just pick both scouts at once and have done with it.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah.
All right. So I'm going with Daz and Thunder as my scouts.
What the fuck? Cool choices, bro.
The hits keep coming, chat.
I mean, I've already said it. Like, this is your opinion. Like, you know, if people don't like it, whatever. But what's wrong with you? Are you alright? Do you need to talk?
We don't have the time or training to get into what's wrong with me. So
Prepare to be shredded by our scouts.
but no, I do actually have a reason for this. One,
I'm sure we'll get into it.
Yeah.
You know, while this is a kind of initial lineup, the idea with this is that, you know, Fredo is not going to not be a scout, you know, for the entirety of this team playing together. Like there's going to be some rotate in and out. But my thought process here is, because of the nature of how I know Rusty is going to play heavy on this team, and by that I mean he's not going to fucking be there. Like he's more than likely gonna be elsewhere most of the time.
Yeah.
Fredo as ammo becomes a much bigger wall.
Yeah.
At that point. So there's some positional thoughts with that. Obviously, there's going to end up being some rotation around with this as well.
Yeah.
But because Brent is not going to be anywhere close to his resupply, he's going to be out trying to fuck shit up and come back and get his 6 doubles and leave again.
Yeah. Take a drink for me, fellas. Have a hydrate. It's important to keep hydrated. Sorry, please continue.
Pepsi, give us free stuff.
Ooh, no, thank you.
You're blowing our sponsorship deal. God.
Odin said, I once saw Thunder say, "Get him, Tiger," to himself, and then break through an entire team at a leisurely walking pace. That's awesome.
That sounds about right.
I would chalk that up to an urban legend, but I guarantee that is 10,000% true.
Have another sip for me, fellas, would you? I know, right? I gotta pee so bad.
All right, well, hurry up and get through this list then.
Okay, so who have you got in your scouts?
Okay, Flint for sure is playing scout on this team. Others are kind of a tough call, but not really. I'm going to put Mental at scout and save Traj for Resupply, because I'm not going to play Resupply next to Mental because I'm worried he's going to teabag me. So I'm just going to make him play scout, so he'll be far away from me.
Smart. That's the way to play.
See, it's all about strategy. You have to have the right combos, like Than said.
I've seen his junk. I'm sure
everyone has.
Bitch,
you ain't special.
I'm sure it hangs much lower these days. He could teabag you by lifting up his jean shorts. Right. So clearly putting Hoodlum as a scout. And
bro, you done fucked your team.
I mean, I don't know. I kind of want Micro in my Resupply, even though he wrecked shit. even though he wrecked shit. Even though he wrecked shit on the attack.
I'm sorry.
But,
I'm sorry. Say it again.
Fuck all y'all. You know what? Fuck her. I'm gonna put Micro out on the attack. I want him attacking with Josh.
That's the correct answer.
Yeah. As is the case with as is the case with most of these teams, most of these players can play whatever you put them as, and they'll play it like to an extremely high caliber. So, I'm so confused. I've upset some people with my pick.
Yes,
and like
yes,
I said, I wanna not upset people and have them laugh at me. No, I'm happy with that.
We should have picked a different topic then, buddy.
Yeah, fucking hell. Right. That leaves us with our resupplies. But who would you put which?
I mean, so Al is already complaining. Oh my god, I'm a shitty medic. But yeah, I'm just not that concerned. Because because while you think you're a terrible medic, Al, and I know you do, you there's the calmness and team flow and honestly the fact that when you need to, you know how to not try to lead a team. You know how to just like sit back and do what you're told. And I have a feeling that Fredo would be doing the do what you're told thing. So while Mental thinks that this is a shitty lineup and I just completely fucked my team by putting you at medic, I have complete faith in your ability to at peak Night Owl level to be a fantastic medic for this team, to be some of the glue that holds them together.
Until Hoodlum makes
Seeing as how I've seen Fredo reduce his own medic to tears in at least 3 or 4 tournaments, you are 100% correct that he would be in the do what I say camp.
I just want to see like Hoodie make Night Owl his bitch. It's gonna happen. Enjoy the teleport, my friend. And like these days, there's no fat air for Night Owl to hide in, so like he's screwed. It's because I have stolen all of it. DK, who have you got?
I'm definitely going to let Traj be ammo, and I'm going to be medic because Traj will also tell me what to do, and I can just sit there, and this is all part of my grand design because clearly I have the best team. We're going to win the tournament, and I'm finally going to get the All-Star Medic trophy I've coveted all these years by getting backpacked by these other 5 beasts.
I see what you've done. Well played, sir.
It's all about the long con.
Yeah, absolutely. That was the time where like some sassy like pan flute music will play in the background and you walk off into the sunset.
Finally having all 5 of the trophies. It's like the Infinity Gauntlet.
Yeah, so Steve-O, who the fuck is your resupply with this?
I don't know. See, that's the thing. Virus has always wanted to play Nationals as an ammo. So, just for that reason, I'm going to put him as ammo and put Jared as my medic. Which is probably my downfall, because I can't imagine Jared listening to anybody as a medic.
Plus, you guys are going to be resupplying, and he's going to cut a fart, and no one's going to want to get any more resupply, so your team's going to get killed out.
It's, yeah, that's the way that I would run it. But those two for me are fairly interchangeable again, as is the point. But purely because Virus, has always expressed his interest in playing an ammo tournament. I would give him his wish at this tournament and put him as the ammo. I think. How the fuck do you block on the Twitch app? Thanks, Russ. Appreciate it. Hoodie will be my medic. You can't shoot yourself, man. Like, that's not how medic killer works.
I would have to agree with that analysis, though. I would probably put Hoodlum as medic on that team.
I mean, like, these teams, looking at these teams would be so awesome. I would love to see these teams going at it at their peaks.
I mean, they're great, but I'm very confident that I'm going to win because you done fucked over your resupply, and Than's not playing Rusty at Commander, so I am prepared to just sweep everybody from the field.
Yeah,
this is great.
I mean, I like Scythe. I'm pretty sure Scythe's backpack. That would be the nicest backpack I think I've ever seen. And you know what? He probably is much faster when he doesn't have as many people as a full team in his backpack. So, yeah, it's probably fun. Now pick the worst players from tournament. Hard pass, Odin. Hard pass. Dodging that.
I'm also going to draft myself on this list.
Came here to watch porn and just saw Steve-O got fucked. I mean, maybe. The probably
doesn't matter. Had sex.
is there, man, what a draft. That was every bit as amazing as I was hoping it was going to be. Again, I would very much like to see, if you guys haven't already, come join the Discord. Put your teams in there and discuss them.
We can fight more. It'll be great.
Oh, it'll be so good. There we go. Nightbot doing his job. You just saw Rusty not at Commander. I know, Russ.
Such a boomer team.
Oh,
Such a boomer team.
Goodness. Right. Is there anything else that you guys want to add?
I don't know. I feel like we've been raked over the coals by chat. More than enough on this. But apparently this is the content that the people want. They want to fight with us about stuff. They want to say how wrong we are about things.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I'm not saying that they're that they're wrong. I mean, we all have some really questionable choices.
That's how you know you've really made it in sports radio, is when the callers start coming in to argue with you.
Yeah, I think that it went pretty well. DK didn't fail. Than and Steven. I mean, that's not how you spell my name. First off, Russ. Fucking get your V out of here.
I came to play today, Russ.
I think all three of those teams are good. And I would love to hear why you think that I failed in my selection. Because looking at that team, that's a group of badass motherfuckers right there. Tell me how I did wrong, Russ. Come at me, brah. Yeah, that was fun as shit.
That was pretty fun.
We have tomorrow. Tomorrow we have D&D. We are back for D&D. And then next week, hopefully, we are back on Tuesday for Laserforce Live. Thunderdome will be back. I need to put up a poll for what games we're going to play. We're at a loss as to which games to play. I don't want to play Among Us on Thunderdome because A, I don't think I'll be very good at it, and B, it's not a 1v1 game. I think some of the boys are playing games if anyone is at a loss of what to do for the rest of today or the evening, whatever. Jump on Discord. Heathen and Know-It-All, I think, are running that. So, yeah. Oh, also go give Heathen a follow. Boom. There we go. Yeah. But for this week, I suppose we'll leave it there. Anything? You all want to interject? No? We're good? We're going to finish?
No, we've made fools of ourselves enough.
We're going to strong finish?
Blimey.
All right. Well, for this week, I've been Guy Next Door.
I've been DK, good enough to make the top 18.
You fuckwit. And I've been Than.
Always remember to backtrack, kids. We will see you tomorrow and then next week. Ta-ta for now.
I've been throwing daggers in the places I wanna go.